All right, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of Guess Who's Coming Home for Dinner.
Damn dinner.
And just a quick reminder of who our lovely hosts are today. We have, of course, the regulars. We have Carmine, we have Jenn and Chris, and we have our special host with us. We have Annetta and Louise. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We just love it. So for those who don't remember, you're on listening to Unveiled podcast show. And this is the show that is completely unscripted and uncuffed. So if you heard something in part 1 you didn't like, just don't listen. That's all I can tell you.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
Go back and listen.
But
to all of them.
And we normally don't get a chance to do 2 parts, but we really thought that this conversation is something that we needed to continue to have. So here's part 2, and we'll move on to where we ended at, where we were talking about, in general, just how communicating with people, understanding that who we are is not about what we look like versus what we enjoy as individuals and as who we are as individuals, and then bringing people together. But I like the way Annetta had ended it about the fact and Louise were talking about the fact of how food brings you together, right? Mm-hmm. And what was the saying again? Louise, what was
Eat some tacos.
Eat some tacos. Yes. So that's where we're going to start, is how when you're talking about Guess Who's Coming Home for Dinner, it's about so much about the individual, as I say, as it is about as a whole. And food. It's amazing how food will truly bring people together.
We're on to my
Agreed.
subject.
And we have a chef sitting at the table that's just sitting over here like, ooh, I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, that's interesting. Can you think of any holiday meal that you've had where you haven't found something out about your family or about somebody that wasn't eye-opening, right? Like, I think about all the different holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving or Rosh Hashanah or whatever it might be, Passover, where I learned something about somebody in my family. And it could be something as simple as, oh, this one likes chocolate cake, and here the whole time I thought she hated chocolate, whatever it might be. So I think that's a great way to look at it. Like, sit down, eat something, talk. One, you can't be a jerk if you have food in your mouth, because you might choke and die.
You'd be surprised how
I was going to say
jerks
Exactly.
how jerks thrive in those situations.
Could be. So choice, right?
I growing up, we go to my aunt's house, my aunt and uncle's house, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and stuff like that. And I was not a very happy person. One being that there's a lot of fish around.
Oh, yeah.
But I overcame that because my aunt would make me spaghetti, and my cousin and I would sit in the kitchen away from the fish because she didn't like fish either. But anyway, I didn't really have a good I don't want to say good relationship. My family was very crazy, and it was not anything I took away from. I don't want to know any more about you because you're all crazy.
I think we're trying to go with this is like I made a little note about marriage differences, and when it comes to like doing food, like the Rosh Hashanah and what's the other one? Passover. Passover is a big one. Like, I had to learn about Jewish religious foods, right? And that was a big difference for me. And because a lot of people, and I'm going to bring up the G word, and if you don't like it, tough, gefilte fish. So, because everybody sees gefilte fish in this jar, and it looks like a bunch of oysters, and it's all slimy and so on and so forth. And I will tell you, for somebody who's been married to a Jewish woman for some time now, like, that is not the real thing. I mean, it is
nonsense you see in a store. I wouldn't
like if you want to eat it, go ahead by all means. But the way my wife makes it is pretty awesome, and I like it. But to bring people of different origins with different types of food, it makes a really big difference. Like, for you guys have a very eclectic background. Like, do you guys do stuff? Did you have something of hers that was like, okay, this is really weird, and like in the beginning or anything?
He loves all the traditional Caribbean dishes I make because I just make a ton of things. Just kidding.
I was like, good on you.
Did you make any of those dishes the other week that we were there? No. Oh, okay.
I put the salad together.
It was a good salad.
You cut the lettuce.
It was
Very
That's what I
good.
do.
Very good.
That's what I do.
I think Caribbean food between Latin food is not much of a difference.
Yeah.
Like everybody was saying, when there's food on the table, everybody just comes as human beings, and we eat and we talk smack. Enjoy that moment.
Yep.
It doesn't make a difference if it's taco, if it's American food, if it's Caribbean. It doesn't make a difference. Or Jewish food. It doesn't make a difference. If you're going to be curious about to be able to taste a different type of food, you got to do it or not.
Right.
But everybody comes together as family or as friends or as just human beings. That's, you know.
Yeah, and then like you said though, there will be those times where you're going to learn a lot more about those individuals that you did not know, and then you also have those moments where it's like, why are you even here? Because you're not engaged, you're not a part of wanting to be with the family, wanting to experience that dinner time, wanting to sit down and have those real conversations, right? So it can work. But it also gives you that perspective of knowing who truly is in your corner, who you truly are, what your family really is, and it's not about blood.
So,
that is the key thing that people need to understand.
I've got so many opinions on that, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that we've lost our sense of community. We get caught up in our rat race. Whatever your rat race is, and your rat race, and my rat race, unless you make a concerted effort to make the time to get to know your neighbor, know your family, know your friends, meet new people, right? Like, I can tell you just the way I'm looking at it is you have to put that effort in. And it is effort. People with young kids have very different social structures and calendars than people our age, where we don't have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old or 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, whatever the case might be. So there's different conversations to be had, and making that time to figure out, I say it this way, who's in your tribe? When everything comes down to it, who is in your tribe? And it's not just family. Like, we always tell people, oh, Kim and Carmine. And we just had this conversation. Oh, Kim and Carmine. Oh, Kim and Carmine. And, oh, yes, and Kim and Carmine. It's because you are our tribe. You are our family. We are your tribe. We are family. And it's the effort that goes into those relationships that make it so important. So whether it's a turkey on Thanksgiving or tacos on a Tuesday or, I don't know, brisket for whatever Jewish holiday, you do make that effort. And also you find out who you really don't need as part of your tribe, because I'm not everyone's shot at tequila. I will tell you that straight up. I know I'm not. I don't need to be.
Right. And that makes a good kind of question of, like, how do you determine who comes to dinner, or when you're ready for someone to come to dinner? So it's like you were saying, you know, you have family and you have friends, and, you know, we had our little get together last weekend, and we were having a surprise birthday for his dad and him, and he had no idea. Aww. But, you know, the first thing that came to his mind is like, okay, we're inviting family. He was like, Kim, you know, I have another good friend, Ashley. And yeah, Kim and Carmine. It's together now. 2 in 1. 2 in 1. Kim and Carmine. Yes.
We're synonymous with this.
Right.
You know, and like you're saying, it's not just blood, but it's those people who are in your corner. But I'm wondering, like, even for you guys, like, when did you decide that you were ready for your family or your tribe to meet your significant other, and how did that go? Like, how did you know, okay, it's time for us to have dinner?
That's a great question.
That is a great question. Yeah. Dang. So you're saying, like, with our families or just with our friends?
Either or. So
well, I think
you're ready.
For us, it was to me, it was a no-brainer. You know, you guys are my family, so I didn't look at you as, oh gosh, I'm going to be scared. I can't talk to these people. I can't introduce. And whether or not you knew who he was or didn't know, for me, it's like, you are my family. I want you to understand this is the person that I'm going to be with for the rest of my life, that I've fallen in love with. This is who we are. Now, whether or not you accept that that's on you, I will still love you. I'm not going to love you any less. But at the same time, I didn't really think, we didn't overthink it. I think we just really wanted to make sure that, for us, I think our big thing was our kids, you know, understanding that we've decided to take another step or stab at marriage because I've been by myself for 19 years. And that's a long time, you know, and for you, you're almost 15 when you start to think about how many years you've been by yourself, and then you're starting to bring somebody back into the fold. That was a little bit different, you know, but I didn't think of it as a chore of saying, oh, I got to sit down and tell everybody. Right. There was the significance of you guys knowing first. That was important to me because you guys are my family, you know, and then like seeing there was that little minimal circle that to me is just my everyday family that I wanted them to have. You guys all have a part of this in what we were about to do and become, you know, husband and wife. So I didn't really think much of it. I don't know about you in that perspective.
I agree with you.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. We all heard it. Happy wife, happy life.
You don't know how I bit my tongue when you saw the pause, right?
I did.
Said, yes, dear. And just, I'm too close.
I
If she was on that other side of the table, it would be a different story.
Carmine, the vibrations came through. It was like that butterfly effect.
But I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I don't say that, you know, just to be
precociously,
just to be a pain in the ass.
I know
but
that.
no, we're in sync, right? The and I was writing down here because you know you mentioned tribe and all that stuff, and it's really interesting. What I'd like to understand is, and I don't see it. Maybe you could tell me if you've noticed it in any of our relationships with other people. Certainly not the people at this table, but. Who's left the tribe because they can't see past the differences? They can't see past the religion. They can't see the black and white. They can't see the you know Republican Democrat side of the table. I haven't experienced any of that, or maybe I've shied away from people who were giving that vibe. But I'm just curious: has anybody been your tribe at one time, and then your relationship caused that tribe for them not to be in your tribe anymore?
I've been there. The way I see it in my end, this is just me, is like if you cannot support me or be there as a friend or as a family member, hey, I forget you. I forget about you. Just like that. You know, sometimes we get caught on, this is my family, this. No. If they're not willing to be able to be there as real friends or real family, unfortunately, you got to move on. Right. Because at the end of the day, you're hurting your own selves. You're forcing a person to be in your life when that person probably doesn't want to be in your life. And I just go to the next, honestly.
Right. And why do you have to pick and choose, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's the other thing. And
that's the problem.
Right.
So going back to how this all started from part one about who's coming home for dinner is the problem that we live in today is people want to pick a side rather than just be their own person and realize that you do not have to pick a side. You can have an opinion for both aspects or 4 aspects or 5 or how many ever you want to have, just as long as you feel good about yourself. Like, along with what Louise said, is like, I'm the type of person, like, you don't support my decision, and if I fail, I'm going to figure out how to pick myself up and move on. Guess what? I ain't got time for you, and I don't care about you. So go forth, do great things. I didn't marry my wife because she was Jewish. I married her because she was fun to be around. We joke all the time. We have some of the same interests. We have completely separate things that we like to do alone, and it's great. It works. And if people can't support that, cool. Now, what I get a lot of times with her, people with her is like, so what do you guys celebrate Hanukkah? I was like, yes, I celebrate Hanukkah. And I celebrate Christmas. And I have to celebrate her birthday. All in the same month. Therefore, I'm broke. Things like that. Or with different religion. It's really, I get a lot more religious questions about being Jewish. I was like, why don't you ask a person who is Jewish?
Which is so surprising to me. And, who's in your tribe? Who do you want in your tribe? Who don't you want? Like, who doesn't support it? We didn't have anyone nobody in my family was without full support. And granted, my parents are deceased, so it's my sister, and my sister's got her husband, and they're 10 children who are all married, and they're all, it's amazing. And she actually has her first great-grandbaby happened back in August while we were...
Congratulations.
So I was very excited for her. She became a great-grandma. Everybody was supportive. The questions were more about the things that I don't even think about, like him being a soldier. Oh, how long was Chris in the military? What did he do? Da-da-da. And, of course, the littler ones are like, did he have to shoot someone? You ask him. To that point, he really gets more of the questions of, so, I like that one. How Jewish are you?
Yeah, like that is like no, seriously. Like people are like, how Jewish is she? And it's kind of funny now that when people ask me that, like, well, let me give you the broad scope. Her sister, right, is on the I am
Orthodox.
Done, son. Whereas she is like, well, there's a holiday coming up. Maybe we should celebrate. But going back to, like, if you listen to part 1, the whole thing about tattoos and being Jewish, it's not really a thing. My wife, she has some tattoos. Her husband has a lot of tattoos. And it's like, oh, well, I mean.
So you really are Jew-ish.
I'm going to start using that now.
There you go.
I'm going to start using that.
When you introduce and religion comes to place, she's Jew-ish.
Yeah.
You have to have that
Not
pause. I like the pause.
right.
Not acidic. Jew-ish.
But, I mean,
Or I'll get asked, how come you I'm sorry? Why don't you?
but, like, when it comes to certain, like, she's very adamant about certain holidays. Like, Yom Kippur is, I don't know, I'm going to screw this up. Boy, I know I am. It's the new year.
No.
So, what?
Day of Atonement.
Day of Atonement, but going into the new year.
No, Rosh Hashanah's first.
Okay, never mind.
You just did that.
Whatever.
Just think about this. Rosh Hashanah is the first step.
Russia home.
I haven't heard that in so long.
But anyways, like I'm saying, like there's ones that are she's very particular about. Whereas, like, I don't remember where we did Sabbath one time with our family, and I was like, it was the middle of the summer. And if you don't know anything about the Sabbath, when the Sabbath starts, it starts when the sun goes down. So when you're trying to eat dinner at 9:30 at night, there's a cranky tattooed guy like, why are we waiting to eat right now? It's so bad. Like, why? Funny. But then you have like an hour of prayer. Prior to that, it's like, please stop. Please make it stop. Like, feed me now. Like, those certain things where it's like, I can't do this right now. Like, you need to pick and choose because I can't live like that. I can't live on a Friday and not be able to eat or drink until sundown. What?
Right.
I think people want to be part of something that they see you enjoying, right? So, for me, I've had people ask if they could come to dinner at our home because they want to understand whatever it is, whether it's Rosh Hashanah, Passover, whatever the holiday is. A lot of Jewish holidays are about food. That and alcohol. I can't baloney that. That's just fact. They try to kill us, drink some more. Cool. We're still here. So people who want to appreciate it will appreciate it from my standpoint because I am passionate about certain things when it comes to my religion. I wear it on my sleeve. While you can't visually see it, I am 100% proud of being Jewish. There are people who I think, if there was something that was important to you, or if it even slightly concerned you what other people thought about your relationship with Carmine, they'd pick up on it because it's easy to pick up on something negative. It's easy to latch onto it and almost exploit it. So that unification that the two of you have, that bond that you have, that joy that you put out, I think that kind of gets rid of those people, the haters, if you will.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they can't fight that beauty. They can't fight that passion. And I like to think that, when we discuss Rosh Hashanah coming up this year, okay, so it's during the week. Who do we know would want to come and experience it? And then it's during the week. And it's those lives again. Do you make time for your tribe? Whether it's an hour, 2 hours, or are you just friends and family when the
convenient?
When it's convenient. There you
exactly.
go.
Exactly. Great word.
So I think going back to your question, it was that I'm going to do it from my standpoint. So when the wife and I got together, I was on the tail end of my Army career, and my friends were Army. That was it. I had only Army buddies, and then like one day, the next thing I know, I wake up and I roll over. I'm like, so who do I report to? Who do I go hang out with? Blah blah blah. And she's like, me, you fool. I'm like, all right, well, but so there, I mean, really, like you two, Kim Carmine, are I don't know, I guess improving authority. You know, it's kind of it's like
There's that age thing again. You keep
we're gonna get married and whatnot. Hey, whatever, cool, great, wonderful. But I mean, there wasn't a big friend group. I think we have more friends now, almost 10 years of being retired, that are not related to the military than anything else. So,
But the quality and the type of people, as we've gotten older and we've become more settled, I think that also changes who you attract as a friend.
Absolutely.
I know you like going to the gym, and I love watching the videos you post because I'm like, but it's passion, and I think we lose that. I think that, especially for women, we are put into this box and fit in the box. Don't be too loud. Well, I blew that one right out the water. Don't make too much attention. You definitely blew that one right out of the water. Don't voice your opinions. Kim, you definitely blew that out of the water. And that, I do believe, attracts us to each other as women who are capable of supporting each other. And I go so far as to say, same thing with a couple. I can tell that you support your husband. I know you two support each other. Hopefully, God willing, we give off that same vibe of we are a couple, we are a pair, and those are the people that I want attracted into the tribe.
Right.
The couples or the individuals who are so focused on the sour, who don't want to eat the taco. They're going to push.
There you go.
They're going to push the rice and beans around, which, by the way, is a cardinal sin. You better eat the damn beans.
Cardinal sin?
Cardinal. It is. Come on.
Wow, that's deep.
That's deep.
It is.
There's venial and there's cardinal. I think which one is worse?
Oh, I think cardinal.
Cardinal. Okay.
Yeah.
100%. Ground for termination, 100%. Not even a question. But if you come to our home, and I don't like letting people just come into our home, because now I'm sharing with you a piece of me and a piece of my husband that is so personal and so specifically and meticulously constructed for our joy. And so I want to share that joy with you by letting you in our home. If you come in my home and you poop on me, or God forbid worse, you poop on my husband, I will go 16 ways of batshit crazy on you.
Thank you. Yep.
And we've had that experience once with somebody where they came into our home and they left, and it got back to me that they were disrespectful toward my husband, toward my home. And I was like, no mas. That is not happening again, because this is our safe space. Like, your home is your safe space. Like, I don't know if you've ever been robbed. It's the most violating experience. When I was a child, our house was broken into in Jersey, and I will never forget my mother turning to my father, may they both rest in peace, and says, we need to move. Because she felt violated. And I guess to a degree, I carried that with me with the people that I bring to our home, who we let in our home, who, when Amanda came home with the gentleman, I don't know if we've ever told that story.
No.
But she came home and she brought this kid home for dinner. And she was a sophomore in college.
hold on, time out. Do y'all have kids?
We have 7 kids.
No.
Okay, I mean, cool, go for it.
He did
I mean, I love how you did not miss a beat. I was like, all right, cool, man. Good. I mean, okay.
I like to say that I like to see people's reaction.
I think it's great. That was awesome. But so our daughter brought this young man home, and he was not allowed back in our home. And that was just very matter of fact, because, again, if you're going to come into our home, I don't care who you are, whether you're family, you're a friend, or you're trying to make that first impression, do so with an open heart and kindness.
Yeah,
don't be an ass.
Don't show up in a wife beater.
Yeah.
And do not use the term sir. Like, there was no sir. There was no yes sir, no sir, and yes ma'am, no ma'am. There was none of that. There was nothing.
It was
That
different.
is an interesting.
Oh, the full story is so much more entertaining, but that has to be off the air.
Yeah. We'll leave that
I
out
would
there.
like to hear about
I will
that.
tell you
We'll
that
talk about that later.
You bring up an excellent point, right? Like, who, if there's a family member or a member of your tribe, right, that has a problem with who you are, or who you're taking home for dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would this affect your relationship with them, right? And that's interesting because I'm using this word tribe because I love it so much now, right? Are there tribe members we no longer allow in on our reservation?
Yes. And that is good. Yes. That is good.
And we like people that we go to their reservation rather than them come to our reservation because home is your sanctuary, right?
100%.
And there are people. There probably are people that subconsciously we don't allow into our home or reservation. We go there.
Mm-hmm. When I even think about that part of it, if I had that negative experience with those individuals, I don't even want to go back to their reservation.
Right.
Because you've already shown me who you truly are. Those are the things I might have missed before because they felt comfortable enough that, they think you're the same. But then when you start to see that maybe there's that additional person in your life and they start to show a different scene, or that's really who they were, we just didn't see it because it didn't affect us in a certain way, right? I don't want to be in that reservation. I don't want to go to see you anymore. You don't need to come see me. If I see you on the street, cool, whatever. I speak and keep about my business. That's the type of person I am.
That's why you're nicer than I am. Because once that veil comes down, it's almost like the end of a honeymoon phase, right? If I see you and your true character is ugly, done. I will cut you off like a bad habit.
Yeah. And I don't have to feel like I have to engage with you, but if I'm in somebody, great example, we've been through this just here recently, and there was people in their home that I've known as long as I've known you, and they ignored the hell out of me like they've never met me, had the nerve, the audacity to come in front of my face and say, do I know you? I was like, it took everything. It took everything for me to be like, are you fucking kidding me, right? And I didn't say it that way out of respect for the love that I have for these two individuals sitting across this table from me. But it hurt me more to notice the ignorance that you're in their home, you're violating their home, their love and respect for you because they didn't have to ask you to come here. But then at the same time, you're in their environment and you're totally just arrogance and the ignorance. It drove me over the wall, and I literally was like, we're not leaving y'all until I know they're gone. That was because I just knew that at that moment, how you've had that feeling like something else is going to happen, and we said we're not leaving until we know everybody else is gone, and we stayed till like midnight that night.
Yes, we did. We talked.
I needed to have that comfort of knowing that they were okay. That was my biggest concern.
And there were tacos.
And there were tacos.
Did you make
tacos? You did.
Yes.
I'm coming over for tacos.
I want to share something that my father and my mom always have said to. We're 6 boys and the second oldest.
That is true.
That is true, right?
My father always have said, your house is your castle. You respect the person who you with. That's your husband or your wife. And there's limited of people who is allowed to come into your house.
Yes.
A house have to be respected to the highest level. The way you carry your house is the reflection of you. That's one. Second, not anybody is allowed to come into your house. A lot of people don't understand that. I don't care if you're family or close friend. Like Jenn was saying, Kimberly was saying, there's specific people that you allow to come to your safe net. And this is where your family is. Because a lot of people, I'm a big believer in Heavenly Father. That's my belief. A lot of people, they have different things going on. And when a negative vibe comes to your house, it's a different world. Then we get into spiritual right here. Those things, when we started dating, when we had our house, that's one of the things I have said to her. I know where her heart is, but not everybody's heart is the same.
Amen.
Right.
And I tell that to our 2 boys. I have a 24-year-old and we have a 17. I told both of them, the day they decide to bring somebody here, this is not a hotel. Second, you're going to respect the house My father always have said to us, there's only one queen here, that's your mother.
That's right.
Same thing I said to my son and to my other son, Jaden. The day they decide to bring somebody here, it's going to be one person, and that person have to learn how to respect. If she doesn't know how to respect the house, your mom, my wife, myself, that's the last time that person's going to come to my house.
Agreed.
Absolutely agree.
And it sounds very cold, but in reality, it's not cold.
Oh, I
it's
don't
a
think
respect
so.
No.
for other people.
But there's a lot of, you know, the dynamics of how people at this table were raised that are not done today. And it off air, what we were talking about, like people go on vacation and they still supplement, you know, time with family or time with learning from the adults. Like, here's your iPad, here's your phone. Like, no, teach your child something. Teach your child about respect and disrespect and, you know, how things really work. Don't be like, hey, you're going to learn it from the internet. You're going to learn it from a YouTuber or something like that. You know, it's about, I mean, everyone here has a life lesson from their parents.
Absolutely.
And we all were like, when we were younger, we're like, whatever. Now it's like we said it to our kids, and it's like, damn it.
Now we know. Now we know.
Now we know.
Right. Now
Why?
we understand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My father always have said, enjoy your family now. When I'm 6 feet underground, I don't want you to be there and do that. All of that drama.
Yeah.
Because that might be a drama for somebody else who they may see one angle, but the real angle is only you and our Heavenly Father. Because you were never there and you're making all of this drama crying over me when you don't have to waste your time. You had the time to do it. Why come and show this persona in front of other people when in reality you were not there? You had the chance.
Yeah.
I think similar to what you were saying too, Carmine, like, you know, your tribe can sometimes change as you change, you know, because when I was single, it was like the tribe was a certain way. You know, we all ran together with a certain group, you know, having fun, party, whatever. And then when you get married, you notice that some of those tribes that not necessarily you get rid of, but they either stay behind or you've moved on and it just doesn't fit in your new circle.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that as I've been married now, that some of those people I didn't necessarily kick out, they just didn't roll with me because we're on in a different path now in life. But then you have some who, you know, even though they are still single, they're still supportive. And,
That's right.
you know, they care about you no matter what, you know, whether you're married, single, divorced, whatever, they're going to be with you, you know, unconditionally. And I think that's what I've seen as now that we've been married now 4 years, that, you know, the ones who love you are going to be with you regardless.
Absolutely.
And not because you're at a certain stage or a certain title, they're going to be with you. And I had to learn that it's okay to leave those behind that are no longer with you too.
Right. And then you have those people who want to become the part of the tribe, but they just all they want to be is the center of attention.
Oh.
They're not truly a part of who you are.
Or nosy.
They want to just be in control. They want to be the center of attention. They want to be, hey, I want to be here for you, but they're really not there for you. They just want you to believe that they are. But then you can see right through them, and I know y'all know who I'm talking about. And that I can't deal with. I have had, you know, I had to find a way to walk away from that nonsense because I can't take that. And I don't like that feeling of feeling I'm being used, right? Or that you just want to be a part of something that's really not truly there.
Right.
And so you get a lot of that, especially I think for us now, you know, because we're married and a lot of people do know of us or know who we are. Everybody thinks they want to jump on the bandwagon, and you start to realize, yeah, you're not really a part of this bandwagon because you're full of ass. You know, I don't have time for that. And he's a lot nicer than I am, a whole lot nicer. I don't have the what's the word I want to use? Patience. I just don't have it anymore to deal with that. I feel like I got to hold your hand to keep you there. You know, the hand holding is done. You're a grown adult. You make your decisions, and I'm okay with that. Make your decision, but just know I'm done. Like I said, I have a problem with speaking to you if I see you.
Cordial.
But it's a cordial, but it's with the long handle spoon, right? I don't have to have you in my safe haven, in my environment, and around the man that I love, and around my family, and the people that I love, my friends. But there are some people who feel like they have to put on that persona in order to think that they're a part of you, and then you start to realize, no, this is not. And I've had it happen twice in my home. And that pissed me off. I said, never again. We're done. They're never coming back.
So I sit here and I hear everything you just said. And you use the words bandwagon. Like they want to be part of it because you're the new shiny object. Oh, Kim and Carmine. Oh, Louise and Annetta. Oh, Jenn and Chris. And we had that for a while where everyone was like, oh, what are you guys doing this weekend? Oh, can we come with? Oh, can we come to your house? Oh, can we? And then you realize it's that you're a shiny object. I don't have time to be somebody's shiny object. There's one man in this world that I can be a shiny object for, and that's in our home. And that is our relationship, and that is between us. If you want to be part of that, great. I love you. Please come to my home. Come into that. Come to dinner. Let's get to know each other. Don't come to my home, come to dinner, and have ill intention. And I do know the situations that you're referring to about being disrespected in your own home. And that feeling of...
Violated.
Yes, being violated. And disrespect runs deep. I have had many lessons learned about respecting people and being respected. And I think I know, in my world, there's a difference between respecting my home and my family, because my home is my family, right? So what Chris and I do in our home, if you can't appreciate it, you don't have to come back. You will continue to inhale and exhale with whether we are in your world or not.
That's right.
And for some reason, there are people that don't want that. Like they need to be part of your new shiny object. Oh my God, Kim and Carmine, you're this, so we need to be a part of it. And how they treat you in that environment is so telling about them. And to your point, why do you want it?
There's a thing that I use when we are out in the marketplace dealing with people. I like to talk to people. We like to empower other people. And some people that we talk to, they like to have a real conversation. And when we start digging into deep conversation, I come back and say, a real person can see another real person. And they look at me and they like, yeah, a real person can feel another real person. A fake person is going to be a fake person. Like you said, Kimberly, not everybody's going to be allowed to jump to that wagon. Now, those doors are going to be closed. It's because I'm 22. And, my wife young. Loves the
18. Legal soon.
Not everybody can be part of that wagon. It's a restriction to it. There's standards. There's standards as a couple, husband, wife, as friends, and as people. And real can see real too.
That's right.
Period. There's no sugarcoating things. No. If you come to the table with respect, humble, and want to fit in the right way and what type of value you're going to bring in as a person, hey, we're human beings. We're learning every single day. But if you want to take space, there's plenty of spaces down there in the world that you can take somewhere else.
And plenty of people who want to jump on that bandwagon. Yes. Go for it. Yeah, exactly.
You look deep in thought.
Somebody's over here thinking.
No, so my thought process with what this last portion of it is, we all pretty much are setting an example for other individuals, other couples, and the younger people. I being 22 myself, so I know too. Right. But it's like we have a friend, and she's a really great person. She is, I think the past 2 years of her life has been dealt the literally box of shit show, and just some things that we have, I guess, I don't know, some things that we have done, Jen and I, like, I feel it's like, you can see it's like, okay, that is like, this, like you said, Luis, the standard. Like, there's a standard for people. Like, she has gone through divorce with 2 little ones, just cancer twice in the same week. And she's trying to bounce back from it, and is like, it's crazy to see that. But her and a couple other people are always like, well, how long you guys been doing this together? You guys always do this together. You're always together, always together. And I'm like, we're not always together. Like, my wife is about to be a widow for like 3 months because it's hunting season's coming up. So you know, that's where I'm at. But the standard is like, I just do what I do to make her happy, and if that shows other people this is what it's supposed to be like, cool. Great, and whatever. I believe that, again, the younger generations now need a little bit of the standards and discipline, and brought back to, hey, it doesn't matter, again, what you look like. It's about how you feel towards a person, how you have respect towards the other people and treat them and get along. Yeah. And I wholeheartedly agree. Don't come into my house and disrespect. Nothing at all, because that's the last time you're going to see the driveway.
Nope.
That's it. So
I feel like, no, go ahead.
I was just saying, I was saying, I like how you said you give each other space to do you. And I think as a couple, sometimes there's a misconception you got to be always in each other's faces or, running around together. But like you said, you allow each other to be who you are, and that's what brings you together. But you have times you spend together, and other times you can do your own thing independently, and you give yourself space for that.
One example is people will see us, like, when we go to the gym. Like, so we go to a CrossFit gym down in Stafford, and everybody's like, don't you guys like working out together? Like, yeah, we love working out together. As long as she's on that side of the gym. That's all I can. She's over there. I don't pay attention. Nope, not happening. But I mean, she's still there, but she's not there.
Right.
I think one of the things that, thank you, Kimberly, Chris, Jenn, and Markai, to allowing us to be here. It's a privilege. Is we try our best to model what a real husband and wife is. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people have that title. I don't know why they have that title for.
No, God, yeah.
It's because I'm pretty sure everybody remembers this, where our parents used to say, stop hanging around with those type of friends.
Yes.
Who you hang around with is the reflection of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who you listen, all of that. This goes into play as an adult too, not just for kids.
Right.
As a couple or as husband and wife, if you hang around with people who are single, 99.9% there's going to be chaos. Mm-hmm. But when you hang around the right association, the right couple, the right example, it's together we're going to be able to lift ourselves and become better as human beings and as husband and wife. Mm-hmm. Because probably the trust that we are building, one of you guys can be able to say, Luis, look, I saw this. It's about learning how to communicate too. A, B, C, and F, that could be able to help me in my marriage. But you're not coming here to attack. It's because I see your relationship. You have credibility. I have seen the respect, how you treat. But you cannot come to me if you have a chaos in your house and try and get me advice. Mm-hmm. You got to see what you have inside. And if you can't fix what's inside, how you going to tell somebody else, oh, do this? It's not going to happen.
Well, and that's a great point. How do you even welcome somebody else into your tribe if your tribe isn't stable, if your home isn't stable? And
right.
I really like that, because when you're welcoming different, as point with this movie, which again, I haven't seen the movie, but I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, so the girl is white in the movie,
right,
and this gentleman is black, and she brings him home, and the parents are, what's going on? That makes me go back to, and now I really want to see this movie, what was going on in their house to bring it to that point where you're not questioning, oh, do you love this man? You're questioning, why did you choose somebody who is black? You know, that can go into so many different places in the world, right? So we, and I'm trying to find like the commonality, if you will. Somebody comes into our home, I fully expect them to appreciate our home, appreciate the time that it takes for Chris to cook.
Amen.
Love you.
That's what I'm here for.
And then walk away
Yes,
at
chef.
the end of it going, wow, I had a good experience. So in the movie, in my mind, I've now created this whole movie of, you know, the parents giving the daughter the third degree, maybe not conversing directly with the gentleman, not affording him that opportunity to have a conversation. And maybe at dinner they finally do have a conversation and they realize. So again, I built this movie up, so now I better not be let down when I watch it.
Oh, you won't be.
Okay.
It's a good movie. It
So-
really is. Yeah.
If you are disappointed, you're off the truck.
All right. I'll find my own wigwam or whatever, like TP, that thing. But
You're not the lone survivor.
I'm not alone. But you want to build people. People should want to build each other up. And we, again, don't see that either. You brought up a great point about mixing couples and singles and how it can be devastating. It can be very traumatic. There become trust issues. There become questions that come up. And I think that has to do with the character of the individuals themselves. Like, and I'm going to, you know, I love picking on y'all. Y'all want him for a week? Have at it. He's all yours. God
Right.
bless. At no point in time am I going to be like, ooh, I wonder what they're doing.
What did I do?
But that is something that happens very commonplace now. And I hear it just from the people that if you're going to have your phone on speaker, public service announcement. If you have your phone on speaker, I am going to listen.
Might answer too.
I might chime in. Good chance I'll chime in. But more importantly, I will listen. And I hear it. Young kids, one, not realizing where they are, what they're speaking about, but they're talking about their relationships, their significant others. They're talking about their children. This little shit. That's your child. Like, okay, everyone has a moment with their kid. I got it. We all do it. But not in public. That is what you're putting out there. How are you supposed to help somebody else or guide somebody else or be that representation of being welcoming to difference if you're sitting there on your high horse being judgmental? And like you said, Annetta is the queen in that house. I know my husband is a king in our home.
That's right.
I just do as I'm told.
You have rights.
Not inside my house, I know.
The Chihuahua makes sure.
When she's gone, she's still in charge.
There you go.
But you know, who you want to come in and then once they're there, what do you do with them? Like, what were to happen if your boys brought home young ladies that were disrespectful?
I've been through that process.
Okay. So how do you, as the mom, as the queen of your home, contend with that? Because it might be surprising for people.
So, just a quick story. So, my son, one time, when he first got here many years ago, he stayed with me, and I was fine with that because I'm like, hey, he's like, Mom, I want to come home. I want to come live with, be out in Virginia. I'm like, cool. You've been through school and everything, And so he came and he started just like call himself dating this young lady, right? Cute girl, nice to him, but what drove me over the edge is that if I would come to my house and she was there, she was disrespectful, wouldn't speak to me, didn't even acknowledge I was in the house, and this is my house. So I'm like, I'm gonna see how long this is gonna go. I try to be calm and decent. I'm like, obviously the upbringing is not there. I could see it immediately because I never raised my son to be that way, right? My son and I communicate every day, whether you're in the house, out of the house type thing. And, she just kept doing it. And when it just kind of got to me because I couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, and I talked to my son about it previously. I'm like, look, I'm going to explain this to you. This is not how we do in this house. You've been raised to be respectful, and I don't want to come in my home, or I'm sitting in my home. You bring this young lady over here, And she won't even communicate with me or won't even say hello in the house. I said, so I'm going to let you handle it first. If you don't handle it, I'm going to handle it. Well, obviously it didn't work out that way, right? So
She gone.
I had to let her know. And I literally sat down and had a conversation with the young lady at the time. They were in their late 20s, early 30s, late 20s. And she had never had anybody sit down and talk to her about the right way and the wrong way. Because she would told me, nobody communicates that way in our house. My mother never taught me that when you come through the door that you speak to people. I never had such a sad conversation, but at the same time, I had to educate her and make her understand this is the proper way. You'd never sit in somebody's home and not communicate with them or address them when they're walking through the door. You sit
No
here
hi,
and
ma'am.
no hello, ma'am. No, you're sitting here, you eat my food, you're drinking my wine. I mean, a girl, she just thought she was the one all be all. She thought she was the queen. I had to make her understand, no, there ain't but one queen up in here, and it's me. And when you walk through this door, you will respect this house if you want to come back to this house. And like I said, as we continue to communicate, and she's crying. I mean, there was so much she had to get off of her chest. And so much weight that she was carrying as a child. But the worst part about it, at the time, she had a child. I'm like, do you understand what you're doing? So it's all those little lessons that people understand, and you sometimes have to make them aware. I couldn't be angry with her anymore. I had to make her see the light, and I also learned a valuable lesson myself, that my judgment towards her was not wrong, but my judgment towards her was because she hadn't been educated. Nobody explained to her this is not the proper way. She hadn't been raised that way.
Yeah.
So she took what I had, the value, the information. We stayed friends. We still communicate off and on to this day. But it's just that same conversation we were having at this table about how some people just don't know.
Right.
And just that 5 minutes of conversation changed her life.
And I think that's the thing. Once again, going back to sitting down at dinner, it's not always about, kicking people out your life or, judging them, but understanding them. And most of the time when people do, stupid things or say stupid stuff is because of their history or their experiences or lack of knowledge of, just common sense or decency. But it sounds like once you sat down with her and understood, like, okay, I get it, that's your upbringing, maybe it's not intentional, it's just what you were taught, then it helps you to connect with them. And I think that's awesome that you still have a relationship or friendship with them, and you probably changed her life for future relationships.
Well, yeah, and I think for me, the biggest thing, even if we, like I said, we only talk sparingly, and it might be she might reach out to me on Facebook, whatever, but the thing is, for me, was most important at that time was that she had a child that she was showing the same things that she had been raised. That child was exactly like her. I'll never forget the day that she came over, so we could meet the child. I was like, okay, this is interesting. Wasn't ready for any of that. But at the same token, when I seen in just that few minutes of spending time with the child, she was identical to her mom. Totally disrespectful. Every time you tell her, don't touch this, don't do this, she would just do it anyway. Totally ignored everything that you were trying to, because I have boundaries, I have standards, and in my household, it's not a child-related home, right? So I'm trying to make you understand, you can't pick this up, you can't do this. But everything was so opposite with her. It was like she was being diffused, what's the word I'm looking for? She deliberately was doing everything, and she did it because that's how her mother acts. Everything was deliberate. Even if she didn't know, but if you have to be told more than once, hey, don't do this, don't do that, I'm trying to make you, please, communicate with me. It was the same thing she was showing her daughter on a day-to-day basis, right? So like I said, just that few minutes of conversation that we had and learning all the things that she was going through at such a young age, it broke my heart. For one, to see that you have so much weight on your shoulders as a child, and you have a child, and then and then later on I realized that you're not here for my son in the right way. You're looking for somebody to take care of you and your daughter. That ain't gonna happen.
That's what she's seen.
But that's such a blessing for you, and looking for that positive side to it. What a blessing that you were able to receive this child, this girl, this woman, help her, educate her, and set an example for her, which hopefully she took away from it and is doing better, right? So Chris always says this, be better, do better. And they're words, just very simple. Be better, be a better person, be a better wife, be a better husband, just be better. But also do better.
Right.
Show me that you have a vested interest in whatever it is and make it better and give that effort. And I'll let him tell it. He still has soldiers that call on him for guidance and they're like, hey, Dad, he's got 100 and some odd little...
I mean, I've had soldiers call me in the middle of the night, drunk, trying to figure life out. I've had soldiers call me and tell me I just had my first child, or they'll be like, I don't know how to deal with this issue. How do I do this? And it's just... She's like, the first time it happened, she's like, what is going on? And then I explained to her, I was like, this is some people in the Army, probably other armed forces too, like come from broken homes. And a lot of them, they find that one person they can latch onto. And sometimes I don't know if I was the best role model, but evidently I was, because they still call me to this day. So,
but they become part of your tribe too.
Yeah. But I think so going along with the best role model, I think like everything that we're talking about, and I know I'm getting the signal over here, is that the best role models I think we could actually look upon are the kids. And I see it all the time, and people are just like, no matter what goes on in the world and the news, what people say on social media, Facebook, blah, 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 blah. But when you see two little kids that are under the age of 5 and they're of different ethnicities and they're outside playing, holding each other, hugging each other, guess what? They're the standard, because they don't care. They know that, and no judgment. It's like they don't understand what they're looking at. What they know is it's somebody that they can have fun with and engage with, and just learn how to be a good person at that age. Father Pesce, I'm sorry.
No, this is
roll in, Father Pesce.
This is just a great conversation. Sometimes time just sneaks up on you, right? But we covered many scenarios, and during our discussion today, right, we talked about a lot of things. But starting off in part 1 and just steamrolling into part 2. We talked about the obvious differences, black, white, Hispanic, whatever you want to say, religion, ethnicity, cultures. And it's not just the color thing. It's not just those things that I just mentioned. It's it goes beyond that. What we do find is that we have friends, and those friends are really our support structure, right? Our commonalities help us to overcome the differences, whether it's race or religion or region or what have you. The word tribe came up. I love that word. I said it before. Who is your tribe? Who's not in your tribe? There really is only one race that we're in, and it's the human race. And if we can't be human to one another and open and honest to one another, we're failing as human beings.
Wow.
I amaze myself sometimes.
You're never going to top that one.
Just some of the other notes I wrote down. Being on the same page, which I think we all are here. We brought so much good discussions in this. This is probably one of my favorite podcasts that we've done. But the mutual respect, the consistency with each other, our significant others, and our tribe are important in life. At the end of the day, there are anyone that has an issue with your relationship because of the differences that we have. That's their issue, and don't make it yours. That's all I have to say.
All right, amen. Well said. Well said.
And tacos are not just for Tuesdays.
That's right.
Good food brings people together no matter what the difference is.
That's right.
It's a great opportunity to bring our differences to the table and show the human beings who we all are, and that we love tacos.
All right. Well, that comes to the end of Guess Who's Coming Home for Dinner. welcome to dinner, everybody. I loved it. Loved it. So I want to just thank everybody for listening in tonight, and of course our wonderful hosts and special hosts. Thank you very much for hanging out with us.
Appreciate it.
Please come back and let's do this again.
Definitely.
Over and over and over. I love it. And for everybody else, again, like I said, we appreciate you listening in tonight. Just a few things I want to remind you of. To be a guest on the show, reach out to Kimberly at WSBILLC@gmail.com. Want more of Unveiled podcast shows? Monetary donations to support the podcast are now accepted at Cash App, PayPal, Good Pods Tip Jar, or go to the website at www.wsbilc.com. Again, we'd like to thank you all for listening to us tonight. We will be back next month on a Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Be sure to follow us on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. But also, one more thing I want to mention is that this podcast show, Unveiled, is top number 2 on Good Pods. Keep it rolling, you guys. We have been doing our thing. Please continue to support us. We love what we're doing. We want to give you more, but we want to know your feedback. Give us more. If there's any topics you want us to talk about, let us know. But until then, enjoy the rest of your evening and good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.